What's up, guys, and welcome back. Hope you're having a good one. Today, I thought it would be fun to take a look at the upcoming cards that will be arriving to Marvel Snap throughout the next couple of months. The May Season Pass, really good, strong season of new cards, is about to close, and we're about to be going into June. So we'll be looking at the Season Passes and all the cards coming and arriving in those months. But even more exciting, these cards have been confirmed, or at least a couple of them, to go straight into Pool 4, making them cheaper to buy and a lot more obtainable, so it's easier to get more excited about these cards releasing. Now, on top of that, we'll look at some bonus cards that they're going to shock you at the end of this, that they're even coming to Marvel Snap. But let's start with June. That's only a couple of weeks away, and we have the Season Pass card in Ghost Spider, which is going to be a 2-cost, 3-power card, kind of a reverse Iron Fist, if you will, with the on-reveal ability of the last card you played moving to her location. So this is great. We need another cheap option to provide movement abilities. This is going to be a card that I think is one of the better ones as far as just getting the Season Pass gives you access to a much better move deck, right? Oh man, guys, move. I was a huge move fan in the beta. I don't know about you guys, but did you like move when you first started playing it? It attracts a lot of people at first, and then they realize it's tough to play or not as good. But everybody should be getting this who gets the Season Pass. This will be the Season Pass card. And move decks need more cheap move-enabling cards, and I think this ability is such a perfect fit. Absorbing Man, Iron Lad, these cards have made move more dependable, but damn, this is going to be an awesome card to have. I know Molt's probably freaking out. So super solid. I think the entire month, as we're about to see, is going to be a lot of hyped cards, and this is a great start. Moving on, we have Spider-Ham, and I hope this is the Pool 4 drop. I got to say it. It is a 1/1 card, and strap up here. On reveal, transform the highest cost card in your opponent's hand into a pig, keeping its power and cost and essentially losing its ability. I can't believe this is a real card. Like, this has a lot of strong potential. I gotta see if this is even the right stat line, because it doesn't seem right to me. But Spider-Ham has some strong pros and cons, right? Like, if you hit Galactus, oh, it's fantastic. You just ruin that card. You can also hit Death. I mean, that's just, they can't even play that card at that point. Null, Arnim Zola, even Dr. Doom's value. So right there, super strong. I don't know if you can bounce it, because it would do the same effect to that high cost card, and then it would do nothing. I'm not sure. But also, you don't want this hitting Infinite. You don't want this hitting Red Skull. So there's cards that are going to be cons if you do hit it with the old Spider Pig. But also, imagine doing a cool play of White Queen on turn 5, and then you also play Spider Pig. So you take their best card, and then you transform it, use it against them. Some really cool synergy here, and definitely one that I think is the Jeff the Shark of this season. A lot of people are just going to get it because it's Spider-Ham. Moving right along, we have a 4/6 Spider-Man 2099. Wow, super cool card here. We have the first time this moves to a location, you'll be destroying an enemy card there. So it doesn't matter if it's a high power, low power card, Spider-Man is going to kill it. And right away, just such a badass card with the art and the ability. It's freaking crazy that 2099 isn't even that far away. I don't know if it's just because this card's badass, if the variants are, I don't know. This is probably the one I'm most excited about at the moment, because it doesn't have to be in move decks, but also it just thrives into move decks, right? Heimdall is so much more intimidating now. Ghost Spider is going to work. Iron Fist, all these things kind of work together. Iron Ladding this, having a couple of them, also seems a bit nutty. Now, I don't think you can beast bounce this. Nightcrawler, if you bounce back, you can't move him again. So I think the way it's worded, you can't abuse this. And then combining him with Shang-Chi, it's going to be really cool. Super excited about Spider 2099. And definitely one of the more hyped ones on the list. Now, lastly, for June, we have Silk. And Silk is an incredible stat line of a 2/5 that comes with the con, if you will, of after any card, both yours or the opponent, playing where Silk is located, they will move to another location. So really cool concept, great stat line, and it has a lot of uses right away. The con of it is that it moves around, and I get that. But if you build and design the deck, it seems pretty strong, and then you force your opponent to play a card there. Obviously Kraven, right? Miles Morales can get a lot out of here. Or if you flood a lane, and then you can get back over to that lane. I think there's some control elements here. Naturally, close down or hard to reach locations work well with move cards, and we're getting more of those locations in the game. So Silk is pretty cool. I like the idea of the card altogether, and the stat line. I mean, ridiculous. So guys, like, those are the cards just for next month. And if you notice, 2 of them are going to pull 4, right? So like, I'm good with any of these dropping down. Let me know which ones you hope are pull 4 the most. My guess is probably Spider Ham and then yeah, maybe Silk. I don't know. It's going to depend, but I know Ghost Spider is the season pass one, so we'll have to see. All right, so heading into the July season pass. Now, remember, this is a bit far away, so this is subject to change. But what we know is true is going to be what has been leaked, and that is the variants and the season theme. And here's a quick look at what the season pass is going to hold. We start with the season pass card in Phoenix Force. Now, I thought for sure Jean Grey was going to be the season pass card, but it's been confirmed Phoenix Force will take its spot. It is a 5/5. It has the on reveal ability of revive one of your destroy cards and merge Phoenix Force with it. On top of that, guys, you also get a movement effect as far as what Vision has, so you can move it each turn. And guys, this is probably one of the strongest out of all of them this season, outside of what I think is Jean Grey. And I'm glad this is the season pass card, as there's a wide variety of different uses. Like, right off the bat, this can be plugged into pretty much any deck and have a good use, so long as there's some destroy happening. But trying to cheat this out early or having absorbing man, there's a lot of practical uses for the card. Yeah, this is like a card right off the bat that I think Iron Lad is just always going to be good, right? Getting this thing twice is going to like be awesome, dependable, right? Destroy is going to have this like new kind of hybrid take, if you will. Getting like a mini Vision on top of that is super strong. So cheating this out early with Wave, Electro seems like a great idea. But I want to know, will it re-trigger the ability like an on reveal, right? So obviously that's kind of how it reads. And if that's the case, I think it's even better than we think. We're going to have to see. The stats are good. This looks like a fun card. Next up, we have Jean Grey, who's changed a little bit since earlier data mines. I'm going to miss the old Jean Grey, which was an on reveal, I believe, that you have to play your next card at a location. And right away, you can see why that would be busted. But we have an ongoing effect for her. Players must play their first card here each turn if possible. So a lot of great uses for Jean. I think there's a lot of different scenarios where you could use this to a wide variety of effect. So being a major control fan, you guys know that this is a card that I've got my eye on, right? Like, I'm going to be splitting this thing 1,000 times. I can promise you right off the bat. Now, people are not excited enough because you have to think about this. This card is going to be so phenomenal, especially if it's only 3 costs. Because first of all, you know, Guardians of the Galaxy, whatnot, yay, that's great. But Professor X kind of works with it, but even more so, Anti-Galactus. We have another tool against Galactus, or maybe, you know, Sandman to interrupt the Odin on Doctor Doom, and then they have to play their card that dies there, and if it's not Doctor Doom, they lose. Like, it has a lot of potential overall, and, you know, I think it's going to be good to clutter decks, and very solid. Now, we move on to a card that I'm still wrapping my head around, Legion, a 5/7 stat line, and he's going to have an on-reveal ability. Replace each other location with the one that you play him on. And my God. Yeah, I don't even know what to think of this card. I feel like it's kind of a troll card, but at the same time, like things like, I don't know, if you play Negasonic into Bar with No Name, and then it triggered, right? And then you win because the opponent played any cards at the other locations and you're good to go. Or the newest location like Milano, and you can only play cards on turn 5, and then does that just lock the rest of the locations? I feel like it's super fun, crazy at the same time, and it's going to be good to control a little bit, but probably more of a meme card. But you can also, like, flood with, like, Central Park and whatever. And then Danger Room, can you imagine? Like, it's like a roulette table of if you're going to live. I think it's a lot of fun and interesting and decent in the stat department, but I don't know. What are y'all's thoughts? Moving on, we have Mirage, who had a kind of a cool data mine in the past with like a copycat ability, but it felt a little wonky. She is now a 2/2, and essentially she has an on-reveal effect that you're going to copy the lowest cost card in your opponent's hand, so like a reverse White Queen, and then you add it to your hand with +2 power. You know, like if history guys have told us anything about Marvel Snap, a low-cost card, good ability equals good card, right? Like Caveman Science. I think like Death and She-Hulk, this is going to be an awesome counter. +2 on top of that, and then you can just play an assortment of other things. They're trying to make Destroy better with the latest patch. This is just going to make it, I don't know, even worse with another counter. But I want to hear y'all's thoughts. It seems pretty strong. Now, lastly, we have Echo, who is going to be a 1-cost 2-power card. And she has a very unique ability of shutting down ongoing cards that were played at the location that she's on. Yeah, so this is being like deemed as the Cosmo, like anti-Cosmo card. And I don't know. I think with control decks, maybe, right? Like Storm, or if like you have something like Daredevil, I think that's where it's going to fit really nicely. But what I like is like it's going to kill Null for Galactus. It's going to hurt Iron Man, obviously, who's, you know, a pretty strong card. But it also protects you. So if you play this card, then you play Invisible Woman, you can maybe get some Hella stuff off a bit easier. Or maybe Wong, Mystique, or just Wong, and then you play this. So I like it. I think it does have a place. You know, it's going to hurt decks like people that play Patriot and Mystique or Cerebro. God forbid that poor deck. This can kind of shut that down. So I think it's really unique. But will it have a spot in different decks? Maybe. Obviously, the con being zero-style decks, Red Skull, these things are going to want this card to be out there. Man, we are in for a good couple of months. Between like June and July, both of these sets are just, they're cool. I think they're really cool cards. They add a lot of dynamic and unique abilities to the game rather than just like something that we've seen before. So excited that kind of this closes out a lot of the archetypes that need some love. I think move decks are going to be extremely strong. Control getting even better. But now we got a couple bonus cards. I got 3 for you today that we've covered one on the channel before. The other 2 are brand new with stat lines. I can't believe these are real. We're going to start with one that is still in the early stages, and I need y'all's help. Like, what is this thing going to cost? Because Gorr is an on-reveal card. Destroy all 6-cost cards wherever they might be. Now, is this going to be a 5-cost? Is this a 6-cost? This, dude, this is kind of crazy, right? Like, playing this with Magic. If your opponent is super greedy, we have an answer against ramp cards. Obviously, there's a lot of 6-cost cards out there, like Null, Thanos. Thanos is never played, but you know what I mean. There's some great 6-cost cards out there. So I think Gorr is a really cool card, and I don't know. What is the cost going to be? Let me know what you think. All right, so we just covered the crazy season of Move, right? Like, Move is going to be so strong for those that want to learn the archetype and master it. But Annihilus is so good. If you look at it, what he's got, he's an on-reveal card, decent stats. And again, all this stuff, I got to remind you guys, is data mined. This stuff can change. High Evolution's changing to a 4/4 like that, right? But each of these cards randomly choose a location to move to. All of your cards. So, like, right off the bat, man, like, Kraven, after all these cards, Kraven's going to be, like, freaking elite as far as, like, stats go, right? But then you also have, like, Human Torch is going to be really good. Vulture is nice. Multiple Man if you build him up. Move is going to have, like, several archetypes. And combined with the new cards we're getting, this has a lot of promise. And finally, this was my answer on the Snapchat. Which card am I most anticipated? Which card as a character not released that I am dying to have? And it's Loki. Now, I am nowhere convinced this is the final version of Loki. Not even close. But Loki has a lot of variants. I think it's going to come sooner than you think. They've been timing these releases with like the shows on Disney Plus or in theaters. And I know Loki Season 2 is coming somewhat soon. But right now, Loki's an on-reveal. Swap hands with your opponent. Now, again, no idea how much this card's going to cost. Like, I don't know what cost even feels good for that to... Oh, man. Talk about people getting pissed, right? Like, if you run into this card a lot and you just can never play your deck, but at the same time, it's so Loki, I don't know. I bet you they're doing a lot of back testing for this card. Loki's got to be one they nail because this is definitely one people are excited about in general. And I think Loki... he's the god of mischief. He should be all just annoying us all hell, right? But I want to hear y'all's opinions. Do you think this is a good ability? Or if it's not, what would be one that you think fits the bill? So there is the next couple of seasons. I have to hear from you. You guys got to comment on this one. Like, what do you think of these cards the next couple of seasons? Which ones are you eyeing? If you could pick like 1 or 2, or which ones, you know, should be Pool 4 available? Maybe we phrase it as that. But definitely fun to look ahead. Again, these are subject to change, but I think we've seen in the past a good amount of these do kind of ship in their final form. But all I know is if you're a Move fan, strap up. We're a couple of weeks away, and it's going to be a kind of a wild season. Anyway, guys, thank you guys for hanging out today. If you find yourself coming and watching these videos on a daily basis, I don't think it does anything if you click the red subscribe button. Like, I don't think it sends you an extra notification. I don't know. But if you can and you want to support the channel as we make it to 100K, that'd be awesome. Guys, wish you luck out there on the ladder. Good luck in the final weeks, I guess, of the season. And until next time, happy snapping.